Engel has warned about for many years. China is the enemy within. First, the next time you send a text or email on your cell phone, know that the CCP may be reading it, scooping up your personal data, even tracking your location. This is all because of the weak security in our major cellular networks. More than 1 million Americans had their data stolen by Chinese hackers, and it might be even worse than we thought.
The extent of it is quite serious. I can't speak publicly to how it occurred.
How long has this been going on? Months?
It is not an overnight hack. This is a very sophisticated one.
And it's still going on.
And it is still going on.
Let's keep making cell phones and routers. Let's keep making those in China, because that always works out well for us and the American worker in the end. So what's China going to do with everything they're gathering? Experts say they are using data and AI to build dossiers on every American for future use. So what took us so long figuring this out? And why are we allowing this? And that's not our only concern. There's a story out of California where we're just learning about China's infiltration and influence on the state's politics there. Yesterday, U.S. officials arrested a Chinese national for acting as an illegal agent for Beijing. He was serving as the campaign manager for an unnamed city council member in Southern California 2 years ago. This is in addition, of course, to what we already know about the Chinese secret police setting up shop in cities like New York to monitor and punish Chinese nationals living in the U.S. Anything else? I mean, yeah, when Mayorkas says something is serious because, you know, he says nothing is serious, I think it probably is pretty serious. Joining me now, Gordon Chang, Gatestone Institute Senior Fellow. Gordon, Mayorkas said the border wasn't open, it wasn't a crisis. But apparently, they're very concerned about this. China is spying on American citizens. Why should American citizens be worried here?
Well, as you point out, China is compiling a dossier on every American, and they're going to use that for blackmail and other nefarious purposes. And we got to sort of assume right now that they've got access to every phone call, every text, every email message. So they're scooping up enormous amounts of data. China knows more about American citizens than the American government does.
Does this have anything or in any way relevance to the number of Chinese who have come here to study, Gordon? I mean, hundreds of thousands, of course, over the years. I remember there were 300,000 foreign students from all countries during COVID. Remember, we were going to send them back during COVID, but I don't think we ended up doing that. But there's a concern about that as well here.
Yes, because China uses every point of contact to take down our society. So we had almost 400,000 Chinese students, and we know that Chinese consular officials and Ministry of State Security agents were surveilling them and coercing them. And they coerced about 13% of them to steal information and data for China. So this has become a national security issue. You know, most Chinese students, they don't want to do this, but we have allowed Chinese agents to operate on our soil and to commit crimes. And we've known this for decades.
And Gordon, to that point, the Daily Caller is reporting that the federal government has given grants to 50 researchers currently working in U.S. universities or labs who are listed as experts of Chinese government talent recruitment schemes. And that incentivizes participants to steal foreign technologies that are needed to advance China's national military and economic goals, according to the FBI. Well, you and I have talked about this before, but again, talk about letting the fox into the hen house here.
Yeah, this is insane. You know, we know that these individuals in these talent programs of China take information and data and knowledge and intellectual property, and they ship it right back to Beijing, to the Chinese military. And we're actually funding it now, as the Daily Caller points out. This is just crazy how we could have allowed this when we've known about this threat for decades, and yet we continue to feed a Chinese war machine that is actually configuring itself to kill America.